severely punished after death by the agents of Yamraj. Such a sinful man is taken to the top of a mountain 800 miles high and thrown headfirst into the hell known as Avichimat. This hell has no shelter and is made of strong stone resembling the waves of water. There is no water there, however, and this is called Avichimat, waterless. Although the sinful man is repeatedly thrown from the mountain and his body broken to tiny pieces, he still does not die but continuously suffers chastisement. Oh, Krishna. Yastve iha vai vipro rajanyo vaishyo va somapitas tatkalatram vasuram vrata stho api va pibati प्रमादत्तस्तेषां निरयं नितानाम् उरसि पदाक्रमस्यसे वहीनीनाद्रवमानानां कर्ष्यनायसं निषिञ्चन्ति. Any Brahman, translation by Prabhupada, Prabhupada ki jai. Any Brahman or Brahman's wife who drinks liquor is taken by the agents of Yamaraj to the hell known as Ayyapan. This hell also awaits any Kshatriya, Vaishya or person under a vow who in illusion drinks somras. In Ayyapan, the agents of Yamaraj stand on their chests and pour hot melted iron into their mouths. Puppet. One should not be a Brahman in name only and engage in all kinds of sinful activities, especially drinking liquor. Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya must behave according to the principle of the order. If they fall down to the level of Shudras who are accustomed to drinking liquor, they will be punished as described herein. Atha cha yastve iha va atma sambhavanena swayam admano janma tapo vidyachara वर्णाश्रमावतो वरिष्यसो न बहु मन्यते सा मृतका एवामृत्वा शरा कार्दमे निरये अवक्षिरा निपतितो दुरान्ता यतन्ता हि अश्नुते. Translation by Prabhupada. Prabhupada ki jai. A low-born and abominable person who in this life becomes falsely proud, thinking I'm great, and who thus fails to show proper respect to one or more elevated than he by birth, austerity, education, behavior, and caste, or spiritual order, is like a dead man even in this lifetime. And after death, he is thrown headfirst into the hell, known as Kshara Kardam. There he must suffer great tribulation at the hands of the agents of Yamaraj. Puppet by Prabhupada ki jai. One should not become falsely proud. One must be respectful toward a person more elevated than he by birth, education, behavior, caste, or spiritual order. If one does not show respect to such highly elevated persons, but indulge in false pride, he receives punishment in Kshara Kardam. Verse 31. Yes, ye te iha vai purusha medhena yajanti yash cha striyo nripashun khadanti tamschate pashava iva nihatayam sadane yatayanto raksho ganaha sonika iva swadhini avadya asrak पिबन्ति नृत्यन्ति च गायन्ति च हर्ष्यमाना यथेहा पुरुषादः. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada ki jai. There are men and women in this world who sacrifice human beings to Bhairav or Bhadrakali. Oh my God. And then eat their victims' flesh. Those who perform such sacrifices are taken after death to the abode of Yamraj, where their victims, having taken the form of Rakshas, cut them to pieces with sharpened swords, just as in this world the man-eaters drank their victims' blood, dancing and singing in jubilation. Their victims now enjoy drinking the blood of the sacrifices and celebrating in the same way. All right, verse 32. You can read if you want this one. Ye te iha va anagaso aranye grame va vaishrambhake upashritam upavishrambhaya jijivishun shulashtradishu paparotan krida kridanat kridanakataya yatayanti te api cha pretya yama yatanashu सुलादिषु प्रोतात्मनः क्षुत्त्रिद्भयां चाभिहताः कणका वतादिभिश्चेतस्ततस्तिग्मातुण्डैर् अहान्यमाना आत्मसमलं स्मरन्ति. Okay, Mataji, go ahead. Madhumay Krishna
Hare
Kant.
Krishna Mataji. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Ye Tvihava Anagaso Aranye Grame Va Vaishrumbhakair Upasrutan Upavishramphaya Jijivishun Shula Sutradishu Upaprotan Kridanakataya Yatayanti Tepi cha pretya Yamayatanasu Shuladishu Protatmanaha Kshutrudbhyam cha Abhihata Kankavataadibihi cha itastataha Tigmatundair ahanyamana Atmashamalam smaranti. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Krishna. Chitramohini Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण माताजी. ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ये त्विहा वा अनागसो अरण्ये ग्रामे वा वैश्रम्भकैर् उपसृतान् उपविश्रम्भय्य जिजीवशून् शूलसूत्रादिषु उपप्रोथान् क्रीडान् कथया यातयन्ति ते अपि च प्रेत्य यमयातनासु शूलादिषु प्रोतात्मनः क्षुत्राढ्यं शाभिहताः तिगन्तुण्डैर् अहन्यामान आत्मशमलं स्मरन्ति. हरे कृष्ण माताजी. थैंक यू माताजी.
Thank you. Anjali Mataji. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण माताजी. दंडवत प्रणाम. ये त्विह वा अनागसः अरण्ये ग्रामे वा वैश्रम्भकै रूपसृतानु उपविश्रम्भय जिजीविषुन् शूलसूत्रादिषु प्रप्रोक्तान् क्रीडन् कथया यातयन्ति ते अपि च प्रेत्य यमयातनासु शूलादिषु प्रोतात्मनः क्षुत्तुभ्यां च अभिहता कंकवट आदिभिः च इतः ततः तिग्मतुण्डैः आहायमाना आत्मशमलं स्मरन्ति. हरे कृष्ण माताजी.
Thank you. Pran Nandini Madhavi Mataji. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण माताजी. प्रणाम माताजी. ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ये तीह्यैवा अनाग अस अरण्ये ग्रामे वा विश्रम्भके अरुपस्तृता अनुपाविश्रम्भयः जिजीविषन् सुरासुत्रादि असुप्रप्तो पप्रोतान् क्रीडनक तथा यातयन्ति ते अपि च प्रेत्य जमजातनासु शूलादिषु प्रप्तात्मानः चाभिहतः कंकवटादिभिश्चेतस्ततः हरे कृष्ण माताजी. बटादिभिश्चेतस्ततस्तिग्मतुण्डैः हन्यमानः आत्मसमलं स्मरन्ति. हरे कृष्ण माताजी.
Thank you. Usha Devati Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Pranam Mataji. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya ये तु इह वा अंगस अरण्य ग्रामे वा वैश्रम्भकयम् उपस्त्रान् उपविश्रम्भय जिजुविषं शूलशूद्र अदिषु उपप्रोतान् कृटनाटकटाय यतयन्ति ते अपि च प्रेतय यमयतनासु शूल अदिषु प्रोत आत्मनः शुतुतृभ्यं च अपितः कनकवट अतिभिः च इत ततः तिग्मतुण्डै अहं हन्यमानः आत्मसमलं स्मरन्ति। थैंक यू माताजी। हरे कृष्णा।
कृष्ण। विजय कुमारी माता जी, हरे कृष्णा।
हरे कृष्ण माताजी, प्रणाम माताजी। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ये त्वा इह वा अनागसो अरण्ये ग्रामे वैशरम्भवकै उपश्रुतान् उपविश्रम्य भव्य जिजीविषन् शूद्राशुभप्रोदान् क्रीडना गदया यादायन्ति ते अभिष प्रेत्यमयम यादनासु शूलादिषु प्रोदात्मना सा तत्तत्पयां साभिघात गङ्गवडादिभिः सेदस्तदस्तिग्म तुण्डै आहन्यमाना आत्म समलम स्मरन्ति। थैंक यू माताजी।
हरे कृष्णा। थैंक यू। मधुमती विलासनी माता जी, हरे कृष्णा।
हरे कृष्ण माता जी, दंडवत प्रणाम माता जी। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ये त्विह वा अनागसो अरण्ये ग्रामे वा वैश्रम्भकैरूपश्रिता न उपविश्रम्भ्य जिजीविषून शूलसूत्रादिषु पप्रोतान् क्रीडनकतया यातयन्ति ते अपि च प्रेत्य यमयातनासु शूलादिषु प्रोतात्मानः क्षुत्रिङ्गभ्यां च अभिहता कङ्कवटादिभिश्चेतस्ततस्तिग्मात् तुण्डहरा हन्यमाना आत्मशमलं स्मरन्ति। थैंक यू माता जी। हरे
थैंक
कृष्णा।
यू। हरे कृष्णा। पुष्पा यशोमती माता जी, हरे कृष्णा।
हरे कृष्ण माताजी, प्रणाम माताजी।
प्रणाम।
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ये त्वयिह वा अनाथसो अरण्ये ग्राम वा वै सम्बकैः उपश्रुतान् उपविश्रम्भय जिजीविषून् शूल सूत्रादिशुभप्रदोदान् क्रीडनकदया यादयन्ति देवि इच्छ प्रेत्य यमयादनासु शूलादिषु क्रोधात्मानः सत्तत्प्यां साविहदं कङ्गवडादिभिः सेदस्तदस्तिग्मतुण्डैः आहान्यमाना आत्मसमलं स्मरन्ति। हरे कृष्ण माताजी।
थैंक यू। हरे कृष्णा।
Thank you,
रेवती
माताजी।
रत्नांगी माता जी, हरे कृष्णा।
हरे कृष्ण माताजी, प्रणाम माताजी। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। या त्वइह वा अनाकसो अरण्ये ग्रामे वा वैश्रम्भकै उपसृतान् उपविश्रम्भय जिजुविषु शूल सूत्रादिषु पप्रदान् क्रीडनकदया यदायन्ति ते अभिच प्रत्ययमयतानासु शूलादिषु रोदात्मनः च तत्तत्पट्यां साभिहदः गङ्गवडाभिसेद सदस्तिग्मदुण्डै आहान्यामान आत्मसमलमं स्मरन्ति। हरे कृष्ण माताजी। थैंक यू।
थैंक यू। हरे कृष्णा। शुभा राव प्रभु जी, हरे कृष्णा।
हरे कृष्ण माताजी, दंडवत प्रणाम।
प्रणाम।
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ये त्विह वा अनागसोरण्ये ग्रामे वा वैश्रम्भकैरुपसृतानुपविश्रम्भय्य जिजीविषून् शूलसूत्रादिषु पप्रोतान् क्रीडनकतया यातयन्ति तेऽपि च प्रेत्ययमयातनासु शूलादिषु प्रोतात्मान क्षुत्रुभ्यां चाभिहताः कङ्कवटादिभिश्चेतस्तत्तिग्म तुण्डैराहन्यमाना आत्मशमलं स्मरन्ति। हरे कृष्ण।
थैंक यू। हरे कृष्णा। उत्तमा पद्मा माता जी, हरे कृष्णा।
हरे कृष्ण माताजी। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। एत्विवा वा अनागसो अरण्यग्रामे वा वैशम्भके उपसृतान् उपविशम्भव्य जिजीविषून् शूलसूत्रादीश् उपपोतान् क्रीडनकतया यातयन्ति ते अपि च प्रीत्यायमयातनासु शूलादिषु प्रोतात्मनः शत्रुभ्यां च अभिहता कङ्कवटा आदिभिः च इततता तिग्मतुण्डै आहयमानाः आत्मशमलं स्मरन्ति। हरे कृष्ण माता जी।
Thank you, Hare
हरे
Krishna.
हरे
Prakash Rao
कृष्ण
Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण माता प्रणामालु। ओम
Pranam.
नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ये त्विह व अनगसो अरण्ये ग्रामीण वैशम्भकै उपसृतान् उपविसृम्भय जिजीवशून् शूलसूत्रादिषु उपप्लुतान् कीडवकतया यातयान्ति तेऽपि च प्रेत्य यमयातनासु शूलादिषु प्रोतात्मनः उत्कुत्रुढ्यां चाभिहताः कङ्ककटादिविचेतस्तसिग्मतुण्डै उपहन्याः मान आत्मशमलं स्मरन्ति। हरे कृष्ण माता दी।
Thank you, Hare Krishna. Ye persons who tu but iha in this life va or anagasaha who are faultless, aranye in the forest, grame in the village, va or vaishrambhakehe by means of good faith, upashritan brought near, upavishramphaya inspiring with confidence, Jiji Vishun who want to be protected, Shula Shutra Adishu on a lance thread and so on, Upaprotan fixed, Krida na kataya like a plaything, Yata yanti cause pain, they those persons, Api certainly cha and Pretya after dying, Yama Yatanashu the persecutions of Yamraj, Shula Adishu on lances and so on, Prota Atmanaha, whose bodies are fixed, Kshut Tridbhayam by hunger and thirst, Cha also Abhihata overwhelmed, Kanka Vata Adibhi by birds such as herons and vultures, Cha and Itaha Tata here and there, Tigma Tunde having pointed beaks, Ahanyamanaha being tortured, Atma Samalan own sinful activities, Smaranti they remember. Translation by Prabhupada Ki Jai. In this life, some people give shelter to animals and birds that come to them for protection in the village or forest. And after making them believe that they will be protected, such people pierce them with lances or threads and play with them like toys, giving them great pain. After death, such people are brought by the assistance of Yamraj to the hell known as Shulaprota, where their bodies are pierced with sharp needle-like lances. They suffer from hunger and thirst, and sharp-beaked birds such as vultures and herons come at them from all sides to tear at their bodies. Tortured and suffering, they can then remember the sinful activities they committed in the past. उमज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा गदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्ता राधा कान्ता नमस्ते। तप्तकाञ्चन गौरंगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसादि गौर भक्तवृंदा। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। नमामि विष्णुपदाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। This chapter doesn't get any better, right? So many sufferings. Verse 28, person who in this life bears false witness or lies while transacting business or giving charity is severely punished after death by the agents of Yamraj. Such a sinful man is taken to the top of a mountain 800 miles high and thrown headfirst into the hell known as Avichimat. This hell has no shelter and is made of strong stone resembling the waves of water. There is no water there, however, and thus it is called Avichimat, waterless. Although the sinful man is repeatedly thrown from the mountain and his body broken to tiny pieces, he still does not die but continuously suffers chastisement. Any Brahman or Brahman's wife who drinks liquor is taken by agents of Yamaraj to the hell known as Ahyapand. This hell also awaits any Kshatriya, Vaishya or persons under a vow who in illusion drinks somras. In Ahyapand, the agents of Yamaraj stand on their chest and pour hot melted iron into their mouths. A low-born and abominable person who in this life becomes falsely proud, thinking I'm great, and who thus fails to show proper respect to one more elevated than he by birth, austerity, education, behavior, caste, or spiritual order, is like a dead man even in this lifetime, and after death he's thrown headfirst into the hell known as Ksharakardam. There he must suffer great tribulation at the hands of the agents of Yamraj. There are men and women in this world who sacrifice human beings to Bhairav or Bhadrakali and then eat their victims' flesh. Those who perform such sacrifices are taken after death to the abode of Yamaraj, where their victims have taken the forms of Rakshas, cut them to pieces with sharpened swords. Just as in this world, the man-eater drank their victims' blood, dancing and singing in jubilation. Their victims now enjoy drinking the blood of the sacrificers and celebrating in that same manner. In this life, some people give shelter to animals like birds that come to them for protection in the village or forest. And after making them believe that they will be protected, such people pierce them with lances or threads and play with them like toys, giving them great pain. After that, such people are brought by the assistance of Yamaraj to the hell known as Shulaprota, where their bodies are pierced with sharp needle-like lances. They suffer from hunger and thirst, and sharp-beaked birds like vultures and herons come at them from all sides to tear at their bodies. Tortured and suffering, they can then remember the sinful activities they committed in the, oh Krishna, past. So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 5th canto, which is called the Creative Impetus. We are in the last chapter of the canto, chapter 26, which is, do you still remember the name? I don't think we can ever forget the name of the chapter.
Hellish planets.
The description of the hellish
The
planet.
description of the hellish planets, and there's so many kinds of punishments. So, you know, so Prabhupada say that, okay, Yamaraj is keeping record of all of our sinful activities. Now, my question to you is, okay, you can raise your hand, okay, please. That we think that nobody is seeing us, or somebody who is committing sinful activity. Nectar of Devotion explains what is the root cause of the sinful activity. Now, don't say desire, because if somebody knows that this is the suffering, then they will hesitate. So, what is the root cause, according to Rupa Goswami, of a sinful activity in Nectar of Devotion? Root cause is
Ignorance, Mataji.
yeah, very nice. Avidya. Right? So, avidya is the root cause. Very nice. Thank you. All right. So, Prabhupada is saying that the sinful activity is something which is against the regulation of the scriptures, right? So now Yamaraj has an assistant. What is his name? Chitragupta? Is it Chitragupta? Chitragupta, right? Who's keeping the records? So now you tell me this, that if somebody is doing a sinful activity and apparently there is no other human being who's watching it, and they say that I can do it because there is no witness, because in the place where we live, for allegation or a charge to be proven, there's got to be some proof, right? There's got to be some evidence or witness. If somebody goes and does the activity, which is sinful, and apparently there is no witness, then how come Yamaraj is punishing them if there is no witness?
Paramatma.
Paramatma. Okay. What else? Prananandi Madhavi Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Super soul is with the witness, Mataji.
Yeah, that
Super soul
Prem Prakash Prabhu said the same thing. Okay, what else? What else? Very nice. Thank you. Madhumai Krishna Kanta Mataji. Yes, Mataji.
Mataji, Hare Krishna. So the Dikpala Devatas and other Devatas are also witness, like sun, then moon, Agni. They are all witness for the activities.
Okay, very nice. Thank you. Yeah, so but what if somebody says that I am doing it on Amavas, so there is no sun, there is no moon? Then
And
Very nice.
Paramatma, Super Soul, Paramatma is the supreme witness. He is always there. And
Okay. Very nice. What else? Usha Devati Mataji.
Our own self, Mataji.
What self? Soul?
Our own self. When we do a mistake, we feel that nobody sees us, but our own self pricks us. You feel guilty of what you have done, no? That itself will exhibit your mistake.
You're right, but to be able to feel guilty, one has to have a very higher level of consciousness. If you ask,
No.
if you sit with a prisoner who's serving the sentence, yes, some of them do come in terms that what they did was wrong, it was an impulsive movement. But some of them who are recurrent prisoners, they have justified their behavior.
Recurrent happens if it gets unnoticed.
What?
If it gets unnoticed by others, they feel that they can do it again and again. But they know very sure that they have done the mistake. And then the nature also. I think I read it somewhere, Mataji, I don't remember the place, like which book and all. Six people are witnesses for our mistakes. Even we feel that nobody watches us. No human eyes watches us. Still, you have 6 people witnesses.
Okay, thank you, Mataji. Thank you. So I'm just trying to expand our horizon beyond what a little what of this particular world, the man-made laws, which are very imperfect, do not really tell us what is the verdict on which basis Yamaraj makes his decision, whether I have done a sinful activity or not. Is yes, Paramatma is a witness, but Krishna states that my mind itself is a witness. Then air is a witness. We are never without breathing and air. So that reports. Then sun and moon are witnesses. And then the nature, the different seasons are witnesses. Earth is a witness. So like that, fire is a witness. There are so many witnesses who go and report to Yamaraj or Chitragupta. We cannot escape. The suffering is for sure because Krishna's law and order is perfect. So if we are ever exposed to a situation where there is, because the mind will always give us the ideas to get something for sense gratification. That will always be there. There's nothing surprising in it. But what is surprising is that am I able to take a gap and use my intelligence and think that, okay, I might do this at the present moment and I might be able to satisfy my senses too, fine. But am I going to escape the laws of Krishna? So the resolution of not doing impasse activity will depend on how strong our sadhana is. So don't think that if I'm chanting Hare Krishna, I'm exempt 100% from all these things because I'm chanting Hare Krishna, because then that is an offense to the chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. What is it? The commit sinful activities on the strength of chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra is an offense to the holy name. So I cannot say that because I'm chanting Hare Krishna, I can do a sinful activity and I will be exempt from seeing the face of Yamaraj. No, it doesn't work like that. What it works like is that, am I chanting offenselessly? And this is one of the offenses to the holy name. So I'm chanting offense, my chanting is full of offenses. So, and plus there are so many, these are unmatched sufferings. I have not heard of, my Guru Maharaj is the leader of ISKCON prison ministry. Okay, so we hear a lot from him about the preachings in ISKCON in prison ministries all over the world, India, Europe, like Slovenia, Czech Republic, America. So, and he has written 2 books about it as well. There is how prison ministry is trying to expand. So if you say that, okay, the punishment of the material world is good enough to reform a person's heart, I can tell you for sure it is not. Because of the mercy of my Guru Maharaj, I know that. Otherwise, there was no need for ISKCON to actually expand its influence even to those conditioned souls sitting over there. Only by the virtue of Krishna consciousness can the heart be transformed. We cannot, transform our heart because of the external fear factor. You cannot. So a fear is never going to be a factor that will transform us. Same is the case with the parenting. If a child has always been subdued by a parent, you do this, otherwise, it says, what is it? You do this, otherwise you're going to turn out to be bad. You eat, otherwise I'm going to have to force feed you or put this food in your mouth. I'm giving you 10 minutes, finish the food, like that. Like, they're instilling some sort of threat or some sort of fear in the heart of the child. The child may do it. They'll do it because they're weak. Okay. But then the parent is actually loosening the bond with the child. It is a very well-known phenomena in pediatrics that when such a child who's parented like in this fashion, when they grow up, they can't wait to leave the house. They can't wait. They just want to leave the house and be on their own at any cost. So that is what it is. That one way is that that we cannot surrender to Krishna. We can increase our surrender to Krishna by understanding the description of all these hellish planets. We can increase our surrender. That thank you, Krishna, for saving me from all these tribulations and sufferings. But we cannot initiate our surrender to Krishna on the basis of a fear factor. Okay, and Krishna, I am not saying this. Krishna himself says that. Right in 4th chapter Bhagavad Gita, what is it? Vitaraga Bhaya Krodha Manmana Upashritaya, verse number 9, right? Is it, which verse is it in 4th chapter? This is verse chapter 9. Vitaraga Bhaya Krodha. I want to say it's 10. Manmaya mam upashitaha bhavaho jnana tapasa putamad bhavam bhavam agataha. So it says being freed from attachment, fear, and anger. So it's not the fear factor cannot be. So we have to get free from the fear factor. Attachment, fear, anger, being fully absorbed in me. So it is a very nice and introspective chapter to say that to naturally, like everyday introspect that am I increasing my surrender to Krishna because of frustration from all the attachment in this world, that no one has been able to reciprocate with my affection? Am I increasing my attachment to Krishna out of the fear of punishments that await me, or out of the fear of something dying? Or am I increasing my attachment to Krishna because I'm completely frustrated and defeated in my attempt to come to terms with anything here, and that has made me angry? So Krishna is saying none of those are very fundamentally strong reasons to go to him. So even though we are understanding who's getting what kind of punishment, and these are very severe punishment. When I read this 800-mile high, the person goes and then thrown down with the head first. Is it what is it called as paragliding? Is it called paragliding, where people are taken some thousands of feet high in the air in an airplane?
You go up on the top of the mountain, and then have the big paraglider, and then tie it up with the body. It has a small seat, and then you run. And once you run and come to the edge, you start flying. I've done that.
You have done that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait.
I've done it in Manali.
Yeah. So how do you? There's this, like, okay, there can be a spirit of adventure, but imagine that this 800 miles high. 800 miles high means 16,000 some kilometers high mountain, and goes up, and then repeatedly it happens, repeatedly. But I was hearing one Prabhupada's lecture where Prabhupada was saying surfers. He said in your country, there's in America, there are so many surfers who want to surf with the waves of the ocean. Prabhupada said that when I look at them, I think they are sufferers, not surfers. And Prabhupada was asked why, because it's such an adventure sport. Said because it is shaping the consciousness. Okay, one is associating with that particular mode, one is like relishing this kind of an activity, which means that they have a desire to live in the waves of the ocean, which means that they will get the body of an aquatic. So it's not, I'm not against the adventure, I'm not against vacation or that, but still it is important to, you know, keep filtering that. Is it just like I'm going for an adventure, or is it something which I am becoming attached to and my consciousness is going over there? And similar is the thing with the sinful activity. One may feel hesitant 1 or 2 times in the beginning, but then it becomes a habit for a person to commit sinful activity. They don't think it is sinful anymore. And when it becomes a habit, then it becomes a nature. When it becomes a nature, then it becomes a character. And when it becomes a character, then that defines our destiny. Okay, so one has to be very, very careful. That's why Krishna says, curb this symbol of lust in the very beginning itself. Curb it. He doesn't say that try to negotiate, process, or, you know, figure out something. He says just curb it. Just get it out. Okay, so understand that this chapter we are getting this understanding of how and where, what kind of punishment, what condition soul is getting. And as I said yesterday, if one has committed more than one sin, then one is going to be suffering in more than one hell, right? Logically makes sense. So basically, it will be so much pain. It will be so much pain. In 7th canto, Srimad Bhagavatam, we will study when Narad Muni is explaining to Yudhishthira Maharaj in 5 social orders about the Shraddha ceremony, how to perform Shraddha ceremony for the departed ancestors. Narad Muni gives the whole process, a whole, you know, vidhi of doing the Shraddha in that particular chapter. And he says that this is to relieve our ancestors who have, by virtue of some sinful act, are stuck in hellish planet. So this is where you are becoming Krishna consciousness with the utmost sincerity of the heart can not only save us, but our family too, who we might not even know. You can actually save them. I know a devotee. I'm not like saying he's very elevated. It's like, you know, when you see such devotees, you feel like I'm nowhere. But anyway, so he's very elevated. And then when he looks at you, and he does astrology because he says once you become a devotee of Narasimha Dev, naturally you get interested in this subject. He says astrology comes from Narasimha Dev. He says like that, Shri Vrindavan Prabhu. And then I saw him like giving example of some of the readings he gave, and he doesn't do a typical reading of somebody's chart. It's 100% Krishna conscious. There's no karmic question answered. Am I going to get a good job? Am I going to get a good spouse? Or am I going to have a good health? He is not interested. So it says, what is prohibiting you from going to Krishna? What conditional nature you have to overcome? So I saw him saying to people that your ancestors are asking for help. He said that. I saw him. He says that you need blessings of your ancestors and they're stuck. So you need to do this and this kind of vidhan for them to alleviate their suffering. So now I am understanding the way he was coming from, that there's so much suffering. If you don't have a knowledge, what did you think of a hellish planet before we read this chapter? What did you think of the hellish planet? What do you think how it will be? Did you think like this? That this is going to be the punishment?
No,
Mataji.
No, Mataji.
It's only an imagination.
we knew there are punishment, but not so severe punishments.
Not so severe.
Yes, so you see, none of us thought that it's going to be so hard and so torturous. And this is all subtle body. This is not gross body, because gross body has died. The subtle body which is covering the soul, mind, intelligence, false ego, which is suffering. Okay, this subtle body which has been cut, subtle body which has been like tortured. I think I'll stop here. Any questions, reflections?